What if I told you that the wallpapers on my desktop change automatically with the month, and they're not only a picture anymore, they're a working app that I vibe coded with today's partner, Lovable. It is possibly my favorite build in a very long time because Lovable is unlocking the ability for people like me to quickly create valuable, simple apps and products, business ideas that we can share with our audience. This is how to turn your desktop into an interactive business dashboard and also turn it into a product for other people. So in this video, I'll not only show you how easy it is to build something like this in Lovable, I'll take you through the process super quickly and show you the results so you can get some inspiration and do the same, and you can download one of the results if you want to check it out. Okay, so what we have here is my standard wallpaper. These are actually wallpapers I've designed. They're monthly calendar wallpapers with a nice vibe. We're going to create this in Lovable. Lovable is proving itself to be the most accessible way to build a fully custom coded interface for yourself. A custom app, a custom website, whatever you want it to be. So I'd like to create an app interface that is designed to sit as the wallpaper on your Mac. I'm going to give you my collection of 12 monthly wallpaper designs, and I'd like the app to change its backdrop every month and match to those wallpapers. I want to create it as an interface where it's clickable and usable. And we're going to use something called Plash to do this. This helps you make any desktop an interactive website. So all you need to design is the actual interface and web app. I'd like this to have a Swiss Apple aesthetic and look as close to a native Mac interface as possible. Show information from my calendar for the day, forthcoming events for the week, and any tasks that I have for my business from the task list on this Notion page. And first of all, how about that for Whisperflow? Look, it could tell I was writing a list and it laid it out as a list. And then I can just type that in. I can go to Notion. I can copy the link to my task list and drop it in here. And I've already created in my Lovable setup a connector. So we can add our connector in here. We've already got Notion. You can see here it is. It's already set up. It's ready to go. Let's just double check if we've got our Google Calendar. Click Add Connection. It's got so many things in there. So we're just going to go with that for the scopes. We're going to use that to connect. Let's connect. All right, we're in plan mode, which allows us to make the plan first and then action it. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to attach files. This is what my minimal wallpapers look like. We're going to go with that. Find the wallpapers. Let's just select, I believe you can only do up to 10. So let's do the coming months. I've attached the first 10 and can share January and February if you need them. Okay, let's plan it. Now, while it's doing that, I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you can implement an app like this, both as a private web app for yourself, but also you can add it to your Mac dock so it becomes essentially a bit like a native app. And you can just use the integrated system that Apple provides, which is called Safari Add to Dock. Now, the honest caveat here is that this route is not a real widget. It's got no notification center, no widget stack, but it does just work. Think about the possibilities, a personal dashboard that is your wallpaper that gives you all the information you need. Mind-blowing. It looks like a personal dashboard. Should the app just be for your own connected Google Notion accounts, no login screen, or support multiple users signing in? Do we think we start with just mine and then upgrade it to a potential app that we could ship and let others use? And it's going to plan it out for me. So it's shared the plan. Great, let's approve it and see what it does. So a while back, there used to be code and no code. Now we're doing kind of, well, no code coding. We can select the connector, link to project. It's now linking my connected Notion account. And of course, you could connect anything else. So I could soon connect Slack. Oh, I had an idea. I'd love to also have a little unread Slack notifications. Can we do that? Now, if you add instructions while it's working, Lovable will queue them up. Now, this is a nice way to, as you see it, do things. Perhaps you want to jump in or you forget something, you can add it into the queue. Now, if I click this little arrow, we can see the process it's working through. This just gives you an understanding of how much is going on. You can see the thoughts of your AI. So what's nice is if you ever want to understand the way it's thinking, or if your instructions or prompts are getting the results you want, this can be a fun thing to do while you wait. Now, it goes without saying, when you're doing anything like this, coding, creating access to your information, you need to be happy with the level of security. Lovable does have built-in security checks and details that it can manage, but with any of this stuff, do your own research and make sure that you're happy that the information you're giving to third-party providers, to AI interfaces, is a reasonable risk for you. So, just so that's said. And on security, if you really do want to restrict who can use it, you can jump to workspace only, but that would require you to run a business account. I think this is a really good thing to set up. Require basic security scan before first publish, and it means that you are being careful with the project before you publish it. Okay, well, this is pretty mad. Look at that. It's taken the design and it's listed stuff into it. Haha, that is so cool. The desk interface is live. Open your tasks page and add the Lovable connection. Great. So let's just first of all go do that. So we're going to go over to Notion. We can go into the top right corner. We can go to connections, add a connection, Lovable, prod, add to this page. Great, so now it's working on our next idea, as you can see, and I'm now approved to connect to it. So, this is looking pretty exciting. I'm just gonna hide that for now. Let's now connect Slack. So if you wanna connect Slack and interact with it as you need to create it as a personal connection, connect as you. We're gonna use the basic permissions for this. Great, that's connected. Link that to the project. This looks fantastic. You can see which one we're on and we can see all the listings. The moment doesn't read very well, so what I'm now gonna do is, so you can just list what you think your changes are. I've just trusted Whisperflow because it's that good, and we'll send it off. All right, so I've been tinkering with this and it's starting to look really good. We've got a task list that opens up today, tomorrow. This is all looking really nice. We can see what's going on. A Slack view where DMs will show up. I've also now got a minimal and maximal view, which just reveals stuff, which is rather good. I need to fix that it's not cutting things off here. And I would love the idea to give us a kind of an opposite month thing, because the idea of my wallpaper packs is that the color links to the time of year, but this is kind of Western calendar. Is there a way to flip this so that there's a version that would work for Australians where this one works for the Brits? Maybe we have a hemisphere button. Maybe it's a little image of a globe. That'll be interesting. So I'm really giving it a challenge now, but we've created that. While it goes and does that, so Plash is now installed. We can add a website here and you can either pick a local website and just choose it like you've already got it in here. So you could save your app just as pure code, which is rather cool. So I could actually load up from my Claude Code setup a website that I've loaded. Pretty cool. I've created. Or you can just select the URL and type it in here. So we'll do that in a sec. Look at that, Southern Hemisphere. Oh, come on, that is epic. Well done, Lovable. Look, it auto-detects from your time zone on first load and remembers your choice. That is absolutely brilliant. So we're ready to publish it. So we are published. You can edit the settings, visibility. You can make these private if you want. So ultimately, it's either going to be better for me to adapt this so that it is just for me. I'd need a business account on Lovable to do that, so it gets a bit more spenny. But potentially, I think I just give a sign-in option. But I'm going to just do the login gate now, multi-user later. So let's add that so I can log into it. And I'll show you how this works on the desktop. So we're going to copy the URL. You can now go to desktop view. We're going to go to Plash, add a website. I'm going to drop the URL in. There it is. And we're going to add it. Click here, browse mode, and we can interact. Look at that. How crazy is that? I can now interact with my desktop and use it. And then by the looks of it, I can go to, and it takes you to the calendar. This is totally amazing. Reply to Bex. If I want to select here, I can pick a date. I can jump to the task and it takes me to it in Notion. Oh my God. And most excitingly, check it off and it'll probably disappear because it's filtered. I mean, it's amazing. I'm loving that. And we've got this separate view, which opens up. I think it looks super clean, pretty damn good. So that, my friends, is how you create yourself an interactive wallpaper dashboard on your Mac. And not only is this a great personal use case or a personal work use case, it just looks fantastic. But my favorite part of this is this can now become a business idea, a product idea. So when you come up with a great idea, you can share it with other people. So let me just show you how far I've taken it to finish this video off with this, a version to deliver my wallpapers as a paid product. Because look, I've now turned this into something that you can sign into. So we can link this to a sales page, give people an authorization, and people can sign up for the product via the integrated Google sign up section. So right here, I can continue with Google, sign in with my email account, allow, and we're in. And you can sign out. Look at that. Totally wild. I'm going to do one more thing, create a new one. Going to create a way for me to deliver my wallpaper packs to you that automatically change and automatically update depending on which side of the hemisphere you're on. So let's just attach the files, find the files, and we're going to go with the MacBook ones, and we'll do the first 4. You'll need all 12 before you can create the 2 hemisphere sides. These are designed for Northern Hemisphere. Click build. All I now want to do is make this sellable. So the app should have the option for users to sign in and access it with their license. Now, on my previous build with Lovable for my Agentic Business Accelerator cohort program, we used their built-in Stripe and Paddle integration. Super easy and really brilliant. And we could use that here, but I want to just see if it's possible to link it up to my current payment platform, which is Lemon Squeezy. So I'm just going to say it should have an option for users to buy a license to access and use this really cheap for the year, just to have the wallpapers. And we update the wallpaper delivery, the app, it can improve, and they can just load it with the free Plash integration. So let's see if it will do it. So I think if you're building a business, web apps and vibe coding allow you to do subscription-based models. Even if we're talking like $15 for the year to have all of the wallpapers, it's really simple and really beautiful. And then each year we do a new design and people just get them automatically because the website is their wallpaper. I kind of love it. I'm going to go and create a new product, and we'll call this Living Wallpapers. Living Wallpapers is an automatically updating monthly wallpaper pack. I'll clean this up later. It's going to be a subscription, standard pricing, price per unit. I'm going to make it $20. Repeat every year. Generate license keys. Activation limit. Let's give them the activation of 3 activations. That's 3 devices. Save as a draft. So this is from the original version. This is what the design people will get. But what I'm also going to do at some point is update it so that we also get the solid version, which I think would be really nice. Okay, I spent a couple of extra hours working on the productized version, and I've got to tell you, it's super cool. So you can see I've gone through loads of iterations around sign-in pages, information. Let me show you the results. And this is the current wallpaper pack that is just fully designed by hand, and it's just a pack that you can download and change manually. We're going to go up to Plash and click enable. And you can see Lovable has coded me a login page, which shows the getting set up guide, and then they can go and sign in. And this is the sign in page. And all you would do is you would go in, add a website, drop the URL into here and give it a name and add it. It then turns up here. You get this, and you can see it's kind of previewing the options. So I can now sign in. I've already logged in with the code, and there it is. All you need to have it on is browsing mode. If you take it off that, it's not clickable. It just works as a normal Mac. But when I want to edit the desktop, I can click browsing mode, and then we have a little menu over here where if we click on the menu, we can see my active license. You can sign in and out. We have Southern and Northern Hemisphere modes. Look at that. We have date. Oh, I need to change the name of that. It should say date and month, but I'll edit that. And we have gradient and solid versions of the pack. And my favorite bit of this is where the other designs moved their letters and numbers around, you've got 3 options for any of them. So you've got a lot of options to jump between different modes, and then it will automatically update the date and the look as you want it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I've paid for monthlywallpapers.com. Can't believe that was available. You can just go to publish and you can add a custom domain, and Lovable will take you through the process. There it is, monthlywallpapers.com. And now I just need to go and do the setup over at my domain host. and we're away. How cool. So all that's left to do is test this out. And well, that's for you to do below. Go and download this. I'm going to sign out and you will find this page over at bettercreating.com. How about that? If you are excited by Lovable, you can check them out below. This is amazing. You can turn your ideas into reality, and most importantly, you can turn them into products that you can ship very, very quickly. Next, if you want to go a little further with your Mac and desk setup, think about the hardware and watch this video next, or this one down here for my full guide on how I built out my entire agentic business method landing page with Lovable in one day. It was completely wild, and you absolutely should check it out over on Systems Made Better. See you soon.